Hello. Hello, hello, hello. This is Chamomile Papi, and I guess this seems like it's my first upload. I had a couple other, but they're not there anymore. And then I spilled a beer on my laptop. And then I lost that footage because I wanted to re-upload it. C'est la vie. That is a wig. Now that we have that out of the way, today I'm going to read you some, you know what the title says. That's what I'm going to be doing. Heads up, you're going to hear a beep, unless you don't. Beep averted. I really like these coffee beans. They are between a medium roast and a dark roast. They smell as pretty as they look. I would touch them with my fingers, but somehow I feel like that would dirty them. Whoops. You're gonna hear some atmospheric noise because I live with people. And there is something comforting, I think, in knowing that there are people around. We'll see if they don't exclaim loudly. I hope they don't, because I don't really feel like editing. Now that my water has been heated to the appropriate temperature, we're going to take my pre-ground coffee beans and I'm going to use my pour over, if you don't know what that is. If you don't know what this is, buy the side of it. This was a gift from my sister and I've been using it a lot. It is BPA free and phthalate free. Yeah, because screw that stuff. This is not a swan neck, obviously. Okay, we'll see what this sounds like. So you're supposed to, air quote, best practice for technique in using a pour over is you kind of just get the grounds wet first, because you want the qualities of the ground coffee to bloom. I did not do that because I wanted to hear what it sounded like, and I liked the way it sounded. I liked the way that the water pouring into the granules sounded like, more than the water, the coffee dripping through to the liquid below. It sounded frothy and lovely. What will I do? I've got it. I'm gonna... Period. What is a little bit of granules in your coffee, anyways? Crunchy. And I like texture. Call me Sarah Burles because I'm feeling like a waitress. Okay. I'm gonna adjust. It is time to pour the coffee. I have my mug, the electronic kettle, and the mug were also gifts. My mom has a cough. Wish her well. You know what? We just have this much left. We can manage it. I'm gonna look back and see if y'all can hear her. Okay. Before we get started reading, I wish you could smell it. It smells really good. These are the Maker's Mark Colombian brand. I'm sure you can find maybe something along the lines, but maybe a little bit better and not sold by Sam's. Let me know if you guys have any coffee bean recommendations. Okay. Feel free to breathe with me. I wanted to read something to someone and share what I'm reading or what I've read. And this is Wilfred Owen's poetry, and his poetry falls under public domain in the U.S. Some of his essays are not necessarily, I think, public domain in other countries, or like the UK, and I don't know. All I know is that in the US, it's public domain. So I wanted to read some of his stuff. He was a poet in the time of World War II. I believe it was World War II. Let me verify. No, it's the First World War. He fought in the First World War. And he did not like it one bit. I think his poems are wonderful, and that they are great at conveying the atrocities of war, and are like great inspiration for those who would like to abstain from any war practice, I suppose. He had some connections with other contemporary artists of the time, like Siegfried Sassoon. He had a close relationship with. It's been a while since I read the introduction of this, and so I'm like a little bit messy on all the details, so that's about as much as I'll say on that. I think I'll read maybe 3 or 4. I'll read you Dolce et decorum est. Not sure I pronounced that Latin right. Bent double, like old beggars under sacks, knock-kneed, coughing like hags, we cursed through sludge, till on the haunting flares we turned our backs, and towards our distant rest began to trudge. Men marched asleep, many had lost their boots, drunk with but leapt on, Many had lost their boots, but limped on, bloodshot. All went lame, all blind, drunk with fatigue, deaf even to the hoots of gas shells dropping softly behind. Stage fright. Let me see if my coffee is good. That's good coffee. I'll restart that one. Dulce et decorum est. Bent double like old beggars under sacks, knock-kneed, coughing like hags. We cursed through sludge till on the haunting flares we turned our backs, and towards our distant rest began to trudge. Men marched asleep. Many had lost their boots, but limped on, bloodshot. All went lame, all blind, drunk with fatigue, deaf even to the hoots of gas shells dropping softly behind. Gas, gas, quick boys, an ecstasy of fumbling, fitting the clumsy helmets just in time, but someone still was yelling out and stumbling, and floundering like a man in fire or lime. Dim through the misty panes and thick green light, as under a green sea I saw him drowning. In all my dreams before my helpless sight, he plunges at me, guttering, choking, drowning. If in some smothering dreams you too could pace behind the wagon that we flung him in, and watch the white eyes writhing in his face, his hanging face like a devil's sick of sin. If you could hear at every jolt the blood come gargling from the froth-corrupted lungs, bitter as the cud of vile, incurable sores on innocent tongues, my friend, you would not tell with such high zest to children ardent for some desperate glory the old lie, dulce et decorum est, pro patria more. Fumbled at the end there, whoops. This is Sonnet to a Child. So I guess this is for all you youngins out there. Sweet is your antique body, not yet young. Beauty withheld from youth that looks for youth. Fair only for your father, dear among masters in art. To all men else uncouth, save me, who know your smile comes very old. Learnt of the happy dead that laughed with gods, for earlier suns than ours have lent you gold. Sly fawns and trees have given you jigs and nods, but soon your heart, hot beating like a bird's, shall slow down. Youth shall lop your hair, and you must learn wry meanings in our words. Your smile shall dull, because too keen aware, and when for hopes your hand shall be uncurled, your eyes shall close, being open to the world. Right. This one might be a little bit less that. Soldier's dream. I dreamed kind Jesus fouled the big gun gears and caused a permanent stoppage in all bolts, and buckled with a smile Mausers and Colts, and rusted every bayonet with his tears. And there were no more bombs of ours or theirs, not even an old flintlock, nor even a pickle, maybe. But God was vexed and gave all power to Michael. And when I woke, he'd seen to our repairs. That's sweet. It's midday here, and I have some things that I'll be doing later. I've cleaned my room, and I've put away my laundry, and I will do more when I feel like doing more. I hope you guys have all had a good day, and I hope that you are relaxing well. I'll read you my favorite one. I hope I do it justice for you. What I like about poetry is that you should read them all multiple times. And with as fickle as emotions are sometimes, when you read it, it will change the way it affects you, depending on your given emotional experience at the time. Okay. This one is Wild with All Regrets, which is another version of his poem, Atere, to Siegfried Sassoon. My arms have mutinied against me, brutes. My fingers fidget like 10 idle brats. My back's been stiff for hours, damned hours. Death never gives his squad a stand at ease. I can't read. There, it's no use. Take your book, A Short Life and a Merry One, my buck. We said we'd hate to grow dead old, but now not to live old seems awful. Not to renew my boyhood with my boys and teach him hitting, shooting, and hunting, all the arts of hurting. Well, that's what I learned. That and making money. Your 50 years in store seem none too many, but I've 5 minutes. God, for just 2 years to help myself to this good air of yours. One spring is one too hard to spare, too long. Spring air would find its own way to my lung and grow me legs as quick as lilac shoots. Yes, there's the orderly. He'll change the sheets when I'm lugged out. Oh, couldn't I do that? Here in this coffin of a bed, I've thought I'd like to kneel and sweep his floor forever, and ask no nights off when the bustle's over, for I'd enjoy the dirt. Who's prejudiced against a grimed hand when his own's quite dust, less live than specks in the sun shaft's turn? Dear dust, in rooms, on roads, on faces tan, I'd love to be a sweeps boy, black as town. Yes, or a muckman. Must I be his load? A flea would do. If one chap wasn't bloody or went stone cold, I'd find another body. Which I shan't manage now, unless it's yours. I shall stay in you, friend, for some few hours. You'll feel my heavy spirit chill your chest and climb your throat on sobs, until it's chased on sighs and wiped from off your lips by wind. I think on your rich breathing, brother. I'll be weaned to do without what blood remained me from my wound. Yes. In case it's not at the front of your mind when he says a sweeps boy blackest town, it's like the chimney sweep boys who were small and I think oftentimes orphans, and they would go clean out people's chimneys and they'd come out black as the town because there was a lot of soot there. In case that line confused anybody. This one's called Storm. His face was charged with beauty as a cloud, with glimmering lightning. When it shadowed me, I shook and was uneasy as a tree that draws the brilliant danger, tremulous and bowed. So must I tempt that face to loose its lightning. Great gods whose beauty is death will laugh above, who made his beauty lovelier than love. I shall be bright with their unearthly brightening, and happier were it if my sap consume. Glorious will shine the opening of my heart. The land shall freshen that was under gloom. What matter if all men cry aloud and start, and women hide bleak faces in their shawl at those hilarious thunders of my fall? I'm like, I don't know, that's copyrightable. Oh, we have 36 minutes. That's pretty good. Anyways, I'm gonna listen back about this. I'm gonna listen to this video back myself. Kind of get a better sense of the audio. And we'll come back and do this again.